Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Mocktail Minutes. This is Bailey.
And this is Brianna.
This week, we are talking about grocery staples. It's been a highly requested topic, so why not add it in? I am also, before we get started, I am drinking a Olipop, the ginger ale flavor. Not bad, not bad. 9 grams of fiber. So,
Nice.
a little fiber boost there.
Yeah, I haven't had that one.
It's actually really good.
What am I having? I'm having the Bubs Naturals electrolytes, and then I mixed some creatine in there, some Thorne creatine. I'm back on my workout game.
Oh, nice.
I took a couple weeks off, and I'm so sore.
Don't you love that? Sometimes I actually kind of like taking off and then coming back and feeling that really good soreness again.
That's what I did. And I have this like toxic trait where every time I get back into my routine, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the biggest bang for my buck. I'm going to do a leg day. And so now I'm like walking around like a baby deer, like trying to get in and out of my car. Like, don't mind me.
Yeah. And I love leg day. Like I would just do leg day every time if it didn't make me look like a pizza from not doing upper body, but
Pizza.
well, I guess it would be opposite. Usually the guys that look like a pizza because they like to do a bunch of arms and they skip leg day. Where I'm the opposite.
I always look at like, if I come across Instagram, like guys that lift a lot of weights, someone's like, let me see your calves and your legs.
Yeah.
Do you do leg day? For no good reason. I just like to, I don't know, judge them from afar.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. I love leg day.
It's so much. It takes a lot of talking myself into getting to the arms and upper body. I'm like, ugh. Need to even out, I guess.
We all have stuff we like.
That is a good point, though, about creatine, because creatine, it is kind of one of those supplements that gives you, it's kind of like a shortcut, but not really, but it's one of those things that can get you quicker results to kind of help you build your muscle. But it's also one of those things where it's not just going to be a magic powder. Like, you still got to work out with it. You get some benefits if you're not working out, but you can't just create muscle from nowhere. So you're going to get the most bang for your buck if you're taking it while you're doing strength training workouts.
Yeah, it's really studied. It's super safe. It's pretty inexpensive. Like, I joke when people are like, what's the best like fat burning supplement? I'm like, creatine. Like, because it helps you build muscle. People don't like that answer,
but also people really like that answer because we like to have something that's going to speed up the process.
Yeah, and something that's not going to break the bank, and that's like proven to actually help get you the results you're trying to get. So maybe we'll do an episode on
creatine. So we talked about protein last week, so that'll give some good insights. We've talked about strength training, but yeah, creatine would be a good topic.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Well, moving along to what are we talking about this week? We're talking about the grocery staples. When we had posted our giveaway, we asked, what do you guys want to hear about? Because like we've talked about, this podcast is for you, to help you. And we had so many responses about like grocery staples to have on hand, like grocery shopping tips, all types of topics around there. So we're going to tackle it today.
Yeah, and it kind of made me think like, duh, why don't we have an episode on this already? But we were talking before we started recording, and we feel like it's one of those things like, we're like, oh, people wouldn't be interested, but so many people requested this. So
but I mean,
let us know things you like, because sometimes Bailey and I, it goes over our heads. We're like, oh, people don't want to know that.
Like, it's just stuff that we do every day because it's part of our job and it's part of like what we do all day long. So there's a lot of things that we don't think about to share, or we don't think about you finding interesting, because to us it's just something, oh, they probably already know. And so we don't want to bore you, but there's no such thing. We will cover any topic you want us to cover. So yeah, just let us know. And I think that's honestly something. So I'm writing my Busy Professionals ebook Weight Loss for Busy Professionals ebook. It's kind of like a guidebook. But while I've been writing that, I've been trying to decide what all to put into it. And that is something my sister brought up to me. She's like, well, think about things that you do just naturally that normal people don't do. I'm like, okay.
That's hard. It's harder than you think.
Yeah. But she was saying, like, because I have a blender on my counter, I make smoothies every morning. So I keep the blender on my counter because it's nice, easy, ready to go. And different things like what oils to cook with, or she's like brought up nutrition labels. And I was like, okay, so it's just like it's all these things that I have been programmed to do because I'm a dietitian.
Yeah.
We just don't always think about that you guys would find interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be super helpful. I'm excited for that.
Stay tuned. I'm hoping it was supposed to be done last weekend, but the weekend weather was very nice. So I spent quality time with Joshua, and
you have to take it while it lasts. Like, yes. It's not going to be nice. So,
well, Missouri weather just punches you in the face sometimes. Literally, it's supposed to be 80 degrees on Wednesday, and then we're going to drop way back down Thursday, Friday, and be like 30s again.
So yeah, take it while you can. No, that's exciting.
So yeah, it'll be available soon. So let's jump into the grocery staples. I guess to start with it, when thinking about these staples, I think about items that I can keep on hand that are not going to expire within like the week, or they're not going to go bad. So like fresh berries, I mean, they're a staple to have in the house, but it's not like a pantry staple or something to just always think of. This is going to be more geared towards like what are things that we can just kind of pick up as we go along to keep in the freezer or in the pantry that are not going to go bad. So that way, when we have these items on hand, it is so much easier to throw a meal together when life happens, plans don't work out, we get home late. Now we can just throw things together instead of just grabbing a box of cereal. We can actually have a full meal, and that's going to make a big difference there.
Oh yeah, something you can do when like life happens, right? Because we're always like really, we feel good. We're like, ooh, this week's going to be great. Everything's just going to be planned out. It's going to go awesome. And then like life hits and suddenly you're busy. And I feel like this is a little bit different than some other nutrition advice you might hear on the internet. Cause I've heard so often like only shop the perimeter of the grocery store because it's like mostly fresh foods, which obviously we love fresh foods. But like Bailey said, they don't last very long. Still get them, still use them. But like, it is so useful to have good quality staples on hand that from the middle of the grocery store that you could use to put together meals. So,
I mean, I think in general, that's a good little general rule of thumb. Yeah, the more you shop the perimeter, the more whole foods you're going to get, but you're also going to miss out on like chickpeas and beans and freeze-dried fruit and yeah, like your nuts, your chia seeds, all kinds of stuff.
Like so many things.
Yeah, so you can definitely shop the middle aisles. And like I said, when you have these items on hand, you're going to be able to handle life so much easier. So what we teach in Metabolism Makeover is to build your meals based off protein, healthy fat, fiber. Those are the three things we want to prioritize at every meal. So I guess let's go through like some protein items we can keep on hand.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of rotisserie chicken, but that's, technically still fresh, but it lasts for a little bit. I like frozen chicken. So like the grilled, like frozen grilled, like strip you can add to things. Some of the nuggets of just bare tenders, those sort of meats I like to have on hand for the quick, let me throw something together. Like you can make a wrap with it, a salad. You could just add it to your plate with like some veggies, whatever it is. If you have it on hand, you don't need to pre-make the protein. I guess that's like meat. Other than that, I like to think of like plant-based proteins. So like beans, chickpeas, like all those. Those are great. Chickpea pasta, like stuff that's going to get you some protein.
Yeah, kind of add to that protein source. I would also add, so I guess when it comes to protein, most of mine are freezer items too, but like frozen shrimp that's already cooked and detailed and deveined and de-everything. So then you literally, you just thaw it out. You can throw it in with any vegetables, and you got a meal there. So frozen shrimp, doing frozen like salmon fillets or any type of fish fillet. Usually those, like a tilapia, will thaw out pretty quickly. So those are nice to have on hand. Or I found salmon patties before. Those are good. Turkey burgers, beef patties, like the ones that are already patty, they're frozen. You just got to cook them from frozen.
So I feel like it also depends on like the stores you're around. Because when I used to live right next to a Trader Joe's, I felt like there was so many good freezer options because they have like the turkey burgers that are like delicious. They have a lot of good frozen meat options. A lot of mine I get at Costco.
Okay. I get most of mine. I usually go to either Aldi or Schnucks.
Yeah, I like Costco because, well, I have a lot of people that I gotta feed too, so it just makes sense. But they have like these really good salmon fillets that are already, because I cannot cook salmon. Okay, I've tried. It's not a
We
event.
actually did it one night. Josh cooked it for me on the grill, like had the scales. So someone at my office went to Alaska, caught all this fish, and brought it to my chiropractor here, and he gave me some. So it was literally like fresh from Alaska, had the scale on it and everything, and Josh cooked it on the grill. It was pretty
It was
dang
good.
good. And it was easy.
Maybe I gotta try the grill. I've never done it that way. I've always tried baking it. I've tried air frying it. Air frying is like decent, but like for me, I'm just so picky. So Costco has these like pre-flavored ones, and they're like vacuum sealed, and you just take it out of your freezer and bake from frozen, and they're delicious.
Yeah, that would be nice and easy. I've heard a lot of people like the air fryer ones. We honestly don't have salmon a lot at our house because Josh doesn't eat it, so I'm just eating it. So we'll have it occasionally if we're like grilling, then he'll grill a steak and he'll grill me a salmon. But having like the salmon patties or the salmon fillets are nice and simple ways to kind of get it in. But really those frozen meats you can't go wrong with. And sometimes it's like a chicken strip night too. Like and
that's what I tell moms all the time. I'm like, I know one thing you guys have. Nuggets and tenders. It is okay to add those to your plate too. Like they're such an easy source of protein. Do it. And they're delicious.
Even if they aren't the best option, if that is the better option, great, go for it. Even like the chicken patties. Oh, I love those so much growing up. So we usually have chicken patties on hand as well. And then I was reading the label because I was like, what? This dinner just never really fills me up. I'm like, it's decent. Yeah, there's only like 10, 12 grams of protein per patty. So then now I just do 2 patties. I'm like, okay, now I'm getting a little bit more protein, but kind of look at those labels too to help you decide. Other protein options, they're not necessarily frozen, but they last a little, they're refrigerated, so they'll last a little longer, like Greek yogurt, great thing to have on hand, cottage cheese, doing eggs. Eggs are literally, no matter what, if I am at the grocery store, I'm going to buy a pack of eggs because they last like forever and you can use them for so many things. You can use them for breakfast, lunch, dinner, hard boiled, scrambled, fried, mix them in with other ingredients, protein pancakes. Like there's so many things you can do with eggs. You must grab eggs every time you go to the store.
Yeah, that's like a must. And I know this is for like my busy people out there. This is ridiculous. I know that it is because it's so easy to boil eggs. I will buy a normal thing of eggs and then I'll buy a thing of pre-hard boiled eggs.
Hey, just whatever works.
I'll do it. Yeah, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. What else is in the fridge? You can get a really good like whatever like milk or milk alternative that has protein too. People forget about that. Back to the freezer. I've been doing this lately. Frozen edamame.
Oh yeah.
Protein. It's like, and sometimes it'll be like chicken tenders, frozen edamame with some hard-boiled eggs and like some mixed greens. And that's a salad. And it's like a pre-bagged salad. Okay, like we're talking convenient foods. But I love eggs.
Mm-hmm. Well, protein powder too would be a good pantry staple. And I literally always have smoothie ingredients on hand. And yeah, there have been some days where I have, because usually it's a smoothie for breakfast, but then like when life happens, I get home late, do not want to cook dinner or don't have dinner stuff on hand because I failed to plan, I will throw together a smoothie. So having different smoothie items on hand is going to be helpful too. Beef jerky or your like beef sticks, turkey sticks, those are good too for protein.
Yeah. Beef, yeah. I always have like a good beef stick. Again, I get those at Costco. They're just a better bang for your buck. Cheese cubes, that's like another thing. My kids have been really into. They will not eat string cheese right now or sliced cheese, but they will have cubed cheese. So that's what we're into right now. Like I'll put together like a little Lunchable type snack. Like cube cheese, beef sticks, some crackers.
Will they eat a cheese stick if you cut it into cubes?
I'm going to try it because I have so many string cheese, like cheese sticks in my fridge right now. Because again, Costco, they're like, here's your 57 string cheeses. Like, oh, and then they decided, oh, you know what? This week we don't like string cheese. I've been eating it, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try and see. Because they've been real bougie. They like the Colby Jack. Like, you know, and I get it. It's good. But I'm also like, you guys, it's not that different.
It's more of a fat source, I would say. So I would classify them as a healthy fat that adds to your protein. So doing any types of nut butters, having a variety of different nuts on hand. So your peanuts, your almonds, walnuts, cashews, pistachios, hazelnuts, macadamia nuts. You have so many options there to have on hand. Also, like pumpkin seeds. Well, like your oils to cook with, olive oil, avocado oil, sesame oil.
Yeah. All your oils, all your nut butters, nuts, seeds, like chia seeds even, which I know we use this for fiber also, but they're, you know, they're fat. Even like the olive packs.
Yeah.
Those are a good one. Those are an easier one too. Like if you need to throw something, like, again, sometimes the convenience foods are a little bit more pricey, but like if that's the make or break it for you to be able to like throw something together in the morning, just do it, because odds are you're spending a lot of money outside of your house, like going and running to get lunch anyway. So like I'll do the little RX butter packets for like some fats. I'll do like the prepackaged olives. Like those are easy things that I can like throw in my bag and go. Could I just get a big thing of it and divvy it out? Yes, I could, but I'm not going to. So yeah.
And that's where it comes to just deciding what works for you. Like if you're like, that is absolutely not in the budget, great. Grab a big jar and divvy it out then.
And divvy it out.
So just figuring out what kind of works for you, where it's going to make sense for you to buy the convenience counterparts. And then even it doesn't have to be like every week you buy those, but if you're like, this week I know is insane, I am not going to cut my vegetables, buy the pre-chopped. But that doesn't mean next week you can't save a little bit of money by buying the full thing. Yeah. So just navigating it in that way, seeing how your week looks, seeing what's going to be most beneficial. And I know it can seem like, all right, well, if I buy this thing of grapes, it's going to be more expensive or the same price as cereal. Well, when we think about that, if we buy cereal compared to grapes, I mean, either of them by themselves, it's not really going to keep us full for very long. But at least with those grapes, you're getting vitamins, you're getting minerals, you're getting some fiber, you're getting some hydration even. Yeah. So you're going to get a lot more benefits, where cereal is going to just kind of be a filler food. It's not to say to never have cereal or cereal is bad or anything. I love cereal, but I also know cereal is not going to go away. So I have it when I want to. My last box went stale, which never used to happen. But when it comes to cereal, and you know foods aren't going to like disappear forever, then you can be more intentional about when you want to include them, how you want to include them. Cereal, for example, is one, like, even if I were to have Fruity Pebbles, because I do love a Fruity Pebbles bowl of cereal, I will actually take protein powder, mix it with my milk, dump it in my cereal, and then I'll sprinkle like chia seeds and hemp seeds on top of it to revamp my cereal. Now it's actually like more of a meal, not just a blood sugar spike that's going to make me feel really tired and crabby and add to inflammation, those types of fun things.
Yeah, and that's why it's like good to always have these little staples on hand, because then you can do things like that. Like maybe you have not such a nutritious meal, like our options, but you can make it into something much more nutritious, give it more bang for your buck, because you have these things on hand. So yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned hemp seeds. That's another thing that I always have on hand.
Yeah, add some protein to that. If you need like 5, 8, 10 grams of protein, sprinkle some hemp seeds on there. Dana, one of the other metabolism makeover coaches, I think you've talked about doing this before too, where you sprinkle the hemp seeds on like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Because you're not going to take, and I think like peanut butter and jelly is pretty good, but yeah, to up that protein. So simple. And I put those things in everything. Oatmeal, smoothies, yogurt, cottage cheese, literally anything.
There's no limit.
There's no limit. There's no
Other things with that, I would say like coconut oil, coconut flakes. I have coconut milk on hand at all times. Those are all great things for
canned coconut too.
Yeah. Like the canned coconut milk.
Yeah, you can add those to like pasta or like the crock pot. I think we have a recipe for it.
It's like a coconut chicken. Literally, you just put chicken, coconut, and season it up. And then you can add like steamed vegetables to it. Easy meal. It's something that I always have on hand because I use that a lot for dairy substitutions with not doing dairy items. I use coconut milk instead, like when it calls for evaporated milk or I don't know, like creamy soups or something like that. Yeah. I will use a coconut milk. So that is something that I do always have on hand as well.
Those are such good options and they don't expire, you know, like canned coconut, canned beans, like all those things, like they're going to last you a really long time.
And if you've never used the canned coconut and you're like, why the heck would I put that on chicken? It's not like a pina colada type coconut that we think of, because I thought the same too. It's when you get unsweetened canned coconut, it's pretty bland. I mean, it has a hint of coconut, but it's not the pina colada type coconut that we typically think of.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, it's similar to like when you use coconut oil. Like you kind of taste it, but it's not like this overly sweet, like islandy.
Yeah. Like I use it in tater tot casserole, biscuits and gravy. I use it in savory dishes, but then I also will use it in smoothies too.
Yeah. So that's a really good one. An easy one to have on hand.
So I guess fiber. You want to cover fiber?
Yeah, let's do fiber. Because the only other fat that I can think of is like grass-fed butter.
Yeah.
That's it.
And like ghee, like those things you keep in the fridge.
I'm bad at this. See, this is like something I don't even think about. Like, what else is, you know? Okay, fiber. So obviously you're going to get fiber from your fresh fruits and vegetables. We love that. But something that it lasts a little bit longer in my house, and sometimes it's easier to prepare, is frozen fruit, frozen veggies. Like frozen vegetables last forever, and they're so easy to make. Like you can get a bag of frozen broccoli. Like you can forget about that sucker for like 6 months. You get a bag of broccoli. You better remember it. Like, cause in 6 days it's going to be
smelly
in your fridge.
Yeah.
Fruits, vegetables. I mean,
canned vegetables.
Yeah. Which ones?
Canned.
Oh yes. Canned vegetables. I like using canned vegetables. Like if you're going to do soups or like crock pot meals, I think people are really scared to use frozen and canned things. I know, like, when I was, like, in my big, like, ooh, I'm going to eat clean, like, I was like, ooh, like, canned vegetables is cheating. Like, those are so bad, but they're not. And sometimes they even have a little bit higher of vitamin and minerals, like, in them because they're canned or frozen much closer after, like, picking than, you know, your fresh broccoli that you're getting at the store. So there's nothing wrong with canned and frozen.
Yeah, other things. So yeah, we talked about like the chia seeds and flax seeds. We did mention those. Those will add some fiber. But also thinking about starchy carbs with which ones we want to include. Higher fiber options, those are going to add to the fiber as well. So your beans, your lentils, that chickpea pasta that we mentioned, like quinoa, wild rice. Those are some higher fiber starchy carbs too.
Yeah, and those are always... I like to have all those on hand, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I like the Bonza brand for chickpea. I know not everybody likes that brand. It's just like kind of my go-to.
I like it. The Schnucks breed is actually really good too. And Aldi they've had black bean, edamame, and chickpea pasta. So they have some different options. Now the edamame and the black bean might be a little bit harder to transition your family to because the edamame, I mean, it's green. It looks like grass when you cook it. And then the black bean one, I mean, it's black noodles. So it doesn't look like your typical noodle either.
And I think that can kind of taste a little bit different. I don't mind the taste, but it's not the taste. It's like a consistency.
I think they do have a little bit of a different taste. I think chickpea is just usually the safer option that's pretty close to a regular pasta. The other ones, I mean, I don't think they taste bad. They're just a little different. The texture might be a little different there too.
Yeah. Something else, like the almond and cassava flour, like wraps, the ones that you get in the refrigerated section, the Siete brand is really good. They only last a certain amount of time after you open them, but it's something that you can get and keep, and as long as you don't open it, it's like good for a while. So I know it's kind of like a middle ground one, but.
And my regular tortillas, once I open them, I actually put them in the fridge too, and I just keep eating them until like I see something funny growing. And I usually can make it through them if I put them in the fridge.
I'm usually fine. What's a good, what else for fiber?
Oats.
Yeah, oats. Those are like a huge staple because my kids love oatmeal. So I'll like put a ton of protein, fat in there. Great option. I like whole grain crackers or like Wassa crackers. Those have a good amount of fiber in them. You can put chicken salad, tuna, literally anything. Smoked salmon, deli meat, whatever you want on them.
Or the flackers. Those are good. I mean, it's like flaxseed crackers. So it gives you some extra fiber and healthy fats there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we forgot for protein was like tuna.
Oh yeah, tuna. You can definitely keep cans of tuna in your pantry. And I actually, so Schnucks will randomly have sales where instead of $1, they're like 79 cents. So that's when I stock up. Anytime they're 79 cents, I buy 10 of them because they take a long time to go bad and we'll eventually use them up anyways. Tuna packs are great to have on hand. Bone broth is another one. Especially soup season right now. Use that bone broth for your soups. It'll up the protein. Also is great for your gut health. Fiber. We just keep having all these ideas pop up. Fiber. So Thrive Market has these little veggie like pantry packets. I don't remember what they're called. But we put a Thrive Market link in the notes so you can actually get 40% off your first order. But I found these at Thrive Market. They're like a white pouch packet.
Oh, yes, the Nokas.
Are they Nokas?
Is it like the
It's not the squeezable ones. No.
Just kidding.
I do like those though too. So that would be a good fiber option. Noka, Noka. Those, but there's another one. What is it called? I don't know. But if you type in like veggie pack or something on the search bar, it pops up and it's a white package. And they have, I know for sure, asparagus and artichokes, and then they're in like an olive oil and they have some seasonings. They're actually really good. So I keep those on hand to add with meals. And then the Noka ones, that gets you some fiber and some protein. Those you kind of keep in the fridge. Well, actually, no, I don't think you have to keep in the fridge. I just like them better.
I like mine in the fridge because I like them cold. But those are ones that I found that I really like because they're pretty high in fiber. Like that's another thing, like grab and go. Like that's such a good snack to have on hand. What else for fiber?
Wild Zora. That's another good brand I found on Thrive Market. So the Wild Zora, they have soups, and then they also have grain-free oatmeal. So it's like an oatmeal, but it's made from flax seeds.
Oh.
It's actually really good. And they have different flavors, like apple pie is one of them. I can't remember the other ones, but they're good. It's a little interesting when you first try them, but I like them. I take them to travel, especially.
That reminded me of like protein, or like pancake mix, like Kodiak mix. What's the other one? There's another good one.
Birch Finders. Yeah. They have one too.
Yeah.
Simple Mills has one.
Those are simple. Those are like, on a weekend we can prep some muffins or some pancakes for the week or something. I always have that.
Well, protein bars.
Yeah, protein bars.
I like the Aloha.
Yeah, I like Aloha. See, the Costco brand is a little bit interesting because technically you can keep them in the freezer if you don't want to use them, and then you can defrost them. Same with Perfect Bars. You could freeze those for like ever. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're a little bit more of like a meal replacement. Like they just have a lot more in them. Psyllium husk powder.
Acacia fiber.
Those are great ones for fiber that you can like sprinkle into anything. What else? I feel like there's dried fruit.
Yeah. And I've been doing more like freeze dried fruit because it's so much easier to find low sugar options where the dried fruit, it can get pretty high in the added sugars. Yeah. So the freeze dried ones, I usually can find much easier to have less added sugars.
Yeah.
Those are good. The Bear brand is really good. That's It bars.
Oh, I love those. Those are great for like pre-workout snacks too.
Applesauce pouches. Pre-workout snack there. A little bit of fiber.
Yeah. Any like dried fruit bars. Again, you have to like watch for the added sugar, but there's a lot of good brands out there that are just like dried fruit, and they're good. I'm trying to think of what I have in my pantry right now.
I know, that's what I'm like trying to brainstorm right now.
Some like a random thing I always have that it just goes with meals is like different sauces. So like the Rayo.
That's what I was just thinking.
Sauce. I always have sauces because you can add sauce to anything.
Yeah. Like pasta sauces, your like buffalo sauce, vodka sauce. And that is something I also get from Thrive Market. I will just type in sauces and I'll just grab a few that sound good. So that's another.
Yeah.
Just to flavor your food up.
And like spices too. Like the Siete has like these new, maybe they're not new. They're new to me. But like taco seasoning packets, but they have different like flavors. Those are so good. I used those this week. Like I just put some like ground beef and those and some veggies and added like a can of beans and made like little makeshift burrito bowls. So good.
I just ordered their enchilada sauce. So I'm going to try that out.
Oh yeah. I haven't tried that.
They sent me their new puffs that they have too. The ones I tried were the spicy ones, and I don't do spicy. I mean, they were good, but I'm not a spicy person, so I freaked out.
I like their churro ones. Like their churro ones are so good. And I mix that with the like s'mores dip.
Yeah.
That we have from like the Metabolism Makeover recipe. So good. Little churro and s'mores. But anything that you can just use to add to a meal. Like, and really
just thinking about what's going to add protein, what's going to add some healthy fats, what's going to add some fibers, because a lot of times when we're thinking about snacks to have on hand, and if it becomes like chips, cookies, little Debbie cakes, those types of things, that's more like desserts to have on hand. Like not to burst anyone's bubble or like be the bearer of bad news. Again, you can incorporate those whenever you want, but it's not going to be a filling snack. It's just going to be a filler food, more of a dessert food. So let's actually grab things that you can put together for a snack. You can add to meals. Another one, I guess, is like grain-free granola because it's going to be made with nuts and seeds and like coconut sometimes. So that's a good one to have on hand as well.
Oh, yeah. No, like when it comes to like the little filler foods, like those are whatever. They're not going to, I've said this before, like snacks are supposed to serve a purpose. They're not going to fill you up. Really. So having snack things on hand that are going to fill you up is the better option. I also like to have like popcorn on hand, and like I will always have, this doesn't really fall into any category, but it goes with popcorn. Like I will do dark chocolate chips. I always have a little bit of those. Like if you're wanting a little bit more like salty, sweet type thing.
Or you could do nutritional yeast with it. It gives you a little bit of fiber and that cheesy flavor.
I know. I'm a big fan of nutritional yeast lately.
Oh, I love it. It looks like fish food, but it tastes like cheese.
Yeah. I put it in like some mac and cheese the other day. And I was like, all right. I made casseroles with it. I don't show anybody what it looks like while you're cooking with it because they'd be like, oh my God, you're trying to kill me. But as long as I don't see it, they're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like the cheese cubes.
Dear God.
Yes.
I'm not doing it. We're getting through the cheese sticks, guys. Like groceries are expensive these days, but yeah, hopefully we've given you guys some ideas. Try to break down your meals and think of it very simple in terms of like, where am I getting my protein? Where am I getting my fiber? Where am I getting my fats? And like, just keep it really simple. Like it does not need to be anything crazy. Like easy meals that you can throw together in 5-10 minutes from like staples that you have. Like that's going to be your key to success really for like stress, your, maybe your weight loss goals, your health goals, whatever it is. Like when you can figure out how to put like easy meals together, that's like most of the battle, to be honest.
It will honestly just help you so much, especially on weekends. Because sometimes weekends where we could end up like going out to eat, sometimes it's like, oh, we all of a sudden need to put lunch together. This is what's going to save your weekends too. Yeah. I hope this is helpful for you. We have some freebies that are in the show notes and also some links that we have for products that we have mentioned. Let us know which items that you have found helpful tag us in your pantry cleanouts, and even doing something like that can be helpful to get started, just to see like, what do you have on hand? Clean out the pantry, get it organized. You'll feel so much better there. But yeah, let us know how those pantries, fridges, and freezers are working. Stay tuned for my little workbook coming. Yeah. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah. I think that's a good challenge, though. I do like that before we leave. Like, go through your pantry, go through your freezer, and there's stuff in there that you haven't used in a long time. Like, I guarantee it. First, make sure it's not expired. Honestly, I just like have like flashbacks to like my parents' house. I don't know if anybody else's
grandparents' house.
Like every time my dad would be like, I just bought that. I'm like, this expired in 2002. No, you did not. You did not just buy this. Like, this is 20 years old. So, but go through there and kind of see like, hey, what could I use with this? Like, what is this? Is this protein? Is it fat? Is it fiber? What can we, and like see like what you can put together with like things that you already have. And like, if you have questions, let us know. Like, send us a DM and be like, okay, I found these. Like, tell me how to make this a meal, you know, like magic wand it for you. It'll be great.
Yes, I've done that with some of my virtual sessions. We literally, like, I get taken to their pantry and we just look at it and like, okay, put this together, and boom, we have a meal. Like, okay, and like, okay, well, you also have this and this. Now just go buy this. That's a 5-second grocery store. Well, probably like 7 minutes once you check out and everything. But like, that's a quick grocery store trip that you can make to grab 4 items instead of 22 items.
And then you have meals. I know my husband always like, he tells me that. He'll be like, I'll cook. I will. But you got to come in here and tell me, like, what can I put together for a meal? Because, like, I don't know how you do it.
It's my magic trick.
Yeah, I love that idea. Like, take me to your pantry. Mm-hmm. Take me there.
All right, everyone. Well, have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.